So this is actually the public debut in the UK of the Ora Cat. It's basically the first time that people here are getting to see this car. And actually, I've got to tell you, just from looking around here, there seems to be a lot of interest in this car. People are jumping into this car all the time. Very interesting design, kind of cute, very retro. I mean, look at these chrome bezels around the headlights. That's very much reminiscent of a Beetle. It's got a kind of dinky Porsche look about it as well. Fluted bonnet. I mean, I don't know what's under there. I'm assuming that that's a luggage compartment. So there's not necessarily a reason to have this fluted design on the bonnet, but it gives it a very interesting character line. Now, if you look further down, again, this sort of joins the line that it meets here is very Porsche-like, and then below in the corner, you see at the bottom there's a honeycomb grille, and then next to the corner here, there's this honeycomb motif, which doesn't seem to have a function to it, but it's just a nice sort of design touch, you know, it's a very, very subtle design touch in a car that's overtly cutesy, if you like, I think is the way to put it. You were at LEVC before, and we met there, right? This is Nick.
Worked at LEVC.
And now you're here with Ora. What is Ora? What are these cars? What's this all about?
So this is Great Wall Motors Ora. So the parent company is Great Wall Motors, and Ora is the pure electric car brand, and it will only ever do pure electric vehicles. So we're hoping that at the end of this year, we'll be able to introduce them to the UK market. The vehicles you can see here today are actually Thai specification. So yeah, they're from the Thai market. We're still working through price and spec for the UK, so I can't confirm that just yet. But yeah, hopefully towards the end of the year, we'll have them.
There's a queue of people getting into this thing, so this is how much interest this thing is generating. There's lots of interest in this car. So over here, hatchback obviously, one-piece tailgate. It's, I would say, a small hatchback kind of boot, you know, so reasonable size. There is an underfloor compartment. Take a look at that. There's little compartments in there so you can store bits and pieces, probably charging cables and stuff like that you could put in there. But it's a reasonable size boot with a split folding, 60/40 split folding rear seat. So that's actually, I would say, you know, reasonably practical. So what sort of cars would they compete with? You know, if we don't know the pricing, but what sort of segment do they fit into?
Yeah, it's I think like just focusing on size-wise, it's in line with sort of like ID3. On images and photography, it kind of looks like it would be more Fiat 500 size, but actually, yeah, it's more in line with sort of like ID3. So yeah, you can kind of expect it to be in that range. Like previously, I think we originally, like maybe 6 months ago or so, we sort of said it'd be 25 to 30. We know now at launch that it will we'll have a vehicle that qualifies for the plug-in car grant, so it will be sub 32. But again, like pricing is totally not confirmed yet, and we need to kind of confirm.
So what's the spec on the car? What's the battery capacity, range, etc.?
So I can talk about the Thai ones. So on the Thai specification vehicles, you have a 48 kilowatt hour battery and a 63 kilowatt hour battery. The former is a range of about 200 miles, and then the latter is about 260. So that's kind of the range and spec that you're working with in terms of batteries.
One of the things I found was that actually it's quite spacious in the back. And just from looking at it here, you can see that looks pretty spacious. Let me... Now the interesting thing is the very flat bench seat here, but also a very flat floor as well. And one of the things I find with electric cars is that sometimes the footroom is limited because the floors are higher, and in this car the floor is definitely higher, you can see that, but there does seem to be enough space. For some reason there seems to be kind of like a tunnel thing here, which I don't really understand because there's no need for that. If it's a front wheel drive or wherever the drive motor is, the motors drive the wheels directly, but it does have decent room in here. It's got a big sunroof on it as well, but generally nice. And I'm assuming, yeah, it does have Isofix Chelsea anchor points as well, so it's practical and safe in that sense. And when are these cars going to hit the market, do you reckon?
Can't give specifics yet, but sort of towards the end of this year we're hoping for. Yeah, obviously everything that's going on in the market at the minute, I won't bang on about it. Everyone knows the issues that we're facing within automotive, so yeah, we'll do the best we can. We're hoping for the end of this year, and at the minute we're on track to hit that. So
you're launching with these two cars. Are there other electric cars going to be coming and joining the range later?
Potentially, you know, it's not off the cards. But yeah, nothing's confirmed at the minute. I think our focus right now is just bringing the Ora Cat into the market and making us live, and then yeah, potentially later down the line there's an option to add sort of like future models, but again, nothing's confirmed at the minute.
So let's get in the front of this car, see what it's like. Now straight away you can see from here, it's got this typical electric screen, a big wide screen that is so common now in electric cars, a one-piece screen that goes all the way across, and quite a big space between the seats as well, where they've put the storage compartment with USBs and stuff like that. A very flat center console, of course, with gear knob rather than lever. You don't need that. Let's get in here, and okay, it's a little bit tight for me. Let me put the seat back a little bit so I can fit in it. There you go. But yeah, it's very nicely fit. This is kind of like a softy fake velour. It's not quite velour, but it has a soft touch feel about it. This is a one-piece screen. These switches here are very nicely done, very reminiscent of Mini. So they have this kind of toggle effect to it and a kind of chrome finishing there. Nicely done. There's a button there for the glove box. It's always good to test the quality of that, and it's got a damped feel to it. So actually that's quite good as well. So one of the things you might be thinking, is it built down to a price? Well, of course it is, but you're not really compromising here. Nice steering wheel, steering mounted controls, not quite a flat bottom steering wheel. A very intricately designed bezeled knob here. That's very Bentley-like. So this car has obviously taken bits and pieces inspired by other cars. I've seen this arrangement as well, this full-length vent arrangement. I can't recall in what car, so if you can tell me what car that's from, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that in something else as well. So let me know what that reminds you of. The seats are quite comfortable. Headroom is pretty good. Elbow room is pretty good. The steering is a bit low, but it is reach and just rake adjustable, not reach adjustable, but seems to be quite good. Check the keys. So this is fully digital. I tell you what, it's really an interesting car inside, but it seems to be quite a practical and sensible little thing. Just look over here as well at the door, the speaker design. So some more of that interesting design element that we looked at on the front bumper and across here. That's actually textured. I can feel that, and a very nice finish here as well on here. Plus this. You know what? I have to say that actually there's quite a bit of design element has gone into this. There's quite a bit of thought has gone into this. It's generating a real buzz here at the Fully Charged show, and you can see why when you get into the car and you find out a little bit more about it. I hope to bring you a drive of this later in the year. Let me know what you think of the Ora Cat. And what's the sort of scale they're looking at for this market? Are they going to be setting up a dealer network? Is it going to be direct from the manufacturer? How many cars are we talking?
So the plan is to have physical retailers at launch, but there'll also be you'll also be able to buy online as well. So it'll be a bit of a hybrid of both.
Amazing. So I'm looking forward to trying one soon. That should be really interesting. They look really cute. Great to see how they would drive. But yeah, thanks so much for telling us all about the Ora Cat.
No worries. Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
A big shout out and thanks to Jay Williams over at AirTechnic, who are top tier sponsors of Brown Car Guy. Check them out at AirTechnic Co UK for exhausts, brakes, suspension and body kits. Plus our other major sponsor, Nayagen Solutions. Much appreciation also to tier 4 sponsors, Muhammad Ali Humaid, Tom Conway Gordon and Reza Adil. And of course all these other guys who supporting on Patreon. Brown Car Guy is eternally grateful. Hey, think about joining them over at patreon.com Brown Car Guy. If you can't, don't worry. Just make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel and website. Plus follow on social media by searching for Brown Car Guy.